Hi everyone, Ali West here. In this week's newsletter, I'm going to talk to you about how much cardiovascular exercise should you be doing. So one of the common questions I get asked by current clients and new clients is how much cardio should I be doing? So I've narrowed this down to three factors that you should be looking at when considering how much cardio you should be doing. So the first thing we're going to look at is what's your current fitness goal. So your goal will dictate to you how much cardiovascular exercise you should be doing each week. So take for example, if you have a weight loss goal and you may want to lose half a stone, maybe even more, then really for a weight loss, fat loss goal, you need to be doing more than 2 hours cardio per week. So a minimum of 120 minutes CV per week. That could be broken down into 6 days of 20 minutes of exercise, or you could do longer stints of exercise, and as long as it adds up to a minimum of 2 hours cardiovascular per week. So the intensity will be affected as well depending on your goal. So you still need to do those 2 hours, but if you're doing weight loss, then you might want to exercise to a higher intensity to burn more calories and improve your metabolism. Also, if it is a weight loss goal, then you want to try and include one stint of long, slow distance or long, steady state training, which is where you do longer than half an hour at a steady pace. So that could be a long walk, a long swim, a long cycle, etc., etc. Take, for example, on the other end of the spectrum, if your goal is to bulk up and gain muscle mass, then 2 hours cardio is not going to benefit your goal. So if you're doing a lot of cardio and you're trying to bulk up, you're going to burn away a lot of fat, but you also might lose some muscle as well, and you're going to have to eat more calories if you're doing a lot of cardiovascular exercise. So in terms of muscle building and weight gaining, cardiovascular exercise is not a good idea. So you might want to do less cardio if you're trying to bulk up and gain muscle. So you might want to just do 2 or 3 high intensity sessions of a minimum of 10 to 15 minutes. That will keep the heart and lungs ticking over, but won't take your metabolism too high, and you're not going to have to eat loads and loads to have the calorie deficit, if that makes sense. So first thing to consider in terms of how much cardio you should be doing is your fitness goal, and base it around what your goal is. So if it's a weight loss goal, more cardio. If you're trying to bulk up, gain muscle, you want to reduce that cardiovascular exercise down. Also, if you was doing a race or some kind of event, then you've got to tailor your cardiovascular according to that as well. So if you're running a half marathon or a full marathon, then you're going to have to get the cardio hours in the week. The second thing that we're going to look at in terms of how much cardiovascular exercise you should do per week is your current fitness level. So if you're quite unfit at the moment, or you're new to exercise, then that cardiovascular exercise wants to start at a low rate, and then you want to build on top of that cardiovascular exercise. So it's no good jumping in and trying to do an hour on the treadmill if you're completely new to exercise, or if you're very unfit and haven't trained for a long period of time. So you need to gauge it in terms of your current fitness level. If you're relatively fit and you've been exercising for a long time and you've got good fitness levels, then you can increase that amount of cardiovascular exercise depending on your goal, and also you can tailor the intensity of it. So if you're quite fit, you might want to do a high intensity cardio session, and you might also want to do longer. So you need to take into account your current fitness levels. So the first thing to consider is your fitness goal. The second thing is your fitness level, current situation. The third thing to consider when you're asking me how much cardio should you do per week is your time, basically. So the time you have during the week. So a lot of my clients say to me, struggling for time, I don't have enough time to do cardio, I don't have enough time to do exercise. So you've got to try and fit that in, and you've got to fit in workout windows that work around your business life, your social life, work commitments, etc., social life as well. So time is a big thing to factor into your cardiovascular exercise. So if you know you're strapped for time and you've got a busy working life and you can't always fit it in, you might want to do some high intensity interval training. So short bouts of work to rest ratios. So you might want to do a minute on, a minute off, just for 10 minutes a day. And if you do that 6 times a week, that's still an hour of high intensity cardiovascular exercise, and that can be really effective. So you don't have to do ages and ages slogging it out at a steady state on the treadmill for an hour or running outside for 2 hours. You could just do 10 minutes really fast, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, and that's going to work you out to a good level, and it's going to keep the heart and lungs ticking over. So you've got to obviously consider that time. If you've got a lot of time on your hands and you can commit to 2 hours, 3 hours a week of cardiovascular exercise, then get it in there and get it done, because obviously the more CV you do, the better your metabolism is going to be. Your heart and lungs are going to improve. Your circulatory system is going to improve. So cardiovascular exercise has many benefits. So I hope this has answered some of your burning questions in terms of how much cardiovascular exercise you should do. It's a question I get asked a lot, so I thought I'd put a little video out there just explaining the things you need to consider, and hopefully answer some questions on how much cardio you should be doing. So biggest thing I want you to take away is, if you've got a weight loss goal, which many of my clients have and many prospects have, then you want to be doing a minimum of 120 minutes of cardiovascular exercise a week, so a minimum of 2 hours. So that's my little vlog for this week, and look out for some more tips and answers to your questions next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.